Now, everybody who's watching, let's get RBT to
1 million
subscribers by Christmas. He's the best Madden scientist there is. I subscribe to him, and if you don't subscribe to, your favorite team is going to lose to the I'm not saying that team.
Well, boys, today's video starts with a somber mood. With the somber mood not being set by me just coming back from getting tested for COVID-19. Number one, because it's 4:04 a.m. that I'm recording this video. Why? Because I'm a psychopath. But today, unfortunately, for me and all you franchise fans out there, we get to see how much better a Madden from 15 years ago, actually over 15 years ago, is than today's Madden, and what's probably going to be way better than Madden 21 franchise mode. Oh, it's gonna break my brain. We just get to see what hopefully one day EA Sports will include once again in the Madden franchise. Really quick, a backstory of even why I'm making this video is because this past week there was a whole entire hashtag Fix Madden Franchise movement going on all over social media. It actually got #1 trending in the entire country. Yes, amidst of a global goddamn pandemic, we got Fix Madden Franchise as the #1 trending in the country. We actually forced EA Sports to respond. We forced a billion-dollar company to come out and make a statement and say they are working on franchise mode, which obviously is better than nothing. We're not going to let off the pedal just yet. That they actually show us that they're working on franchise mode by implementing new features and just making the mode better. And they can make it better by starting with freaking bringing back old features. They don't have to add anything new. Just bring back features that they used to have 15 years ago. Maybe they had the goddamn technology to make it 15 years ago. They should definitely have it now. So I found a thread over on Reddit that just shows us all the features back from Madden 2004 that we're missing today, and we're just gonna look at it and react to it and cry. But before we get into it, guys, make sure to subscribe. Why do you want to subscribe? Because if you do want a free copy of Madden 21, because I know a lot of you might not want to buy Madden 21 because the game's probably gonna suck. So if you want it for free, we're giving away at least 2 copies on Xbox and PlayStation 4. But if and only if we do hit 600k subscribers by the launch of Madden 21, which is on August 28th, we're going to be giving away a total of 10 copies, 5 on Xbox, 5 on PlayStation. That's if and only if we do it 600k by the launch of Madden 21, and the giveaway is only going to be eligible to subscribers. So make sure to take that millisecond that it does take to click that subscription button if you haven't. With that said, let's get nostalgic and let's get to crying. First bit of business is training camp. Literally in preseason training camp, like throughout the summer, you could have your players from each position do specific drills to try to improve their attributes at certain positions. Like here, Michael Vick, they have him trying to do a pocket presence drill, try to improve maybe his awareness rating, his throw power, throw accuracy. And like, just imagine that today, man. This was 15 years ago. I mean, you can have a running back improve, maybe his speed, agility, his vision, just from doing drills. And they had that 15 years ago. Actually, yeah, 15 years ago. And no, that's 17. Madden 2004 was made in 03. 17 years ago, they had training camp. We can't even dream of having that today. Next, we have a coaching staff. They actually let you sign specific coaches for coordinator and offensive coordinator. So you could have your owner, your head coach. You could hire a D coordinator. If they've sucked, they could fire the D coordinator. If you had an offensive coordinator that you wanted to hire, you could hire him. If he sucked, your offense sucked, you could fire him. And look at this, you actually had ratings for your coaching staff. Right here, Jim Schwartz, who went on to be a head coach, I believe. I can't remember where. I think the Lions. He coached the Lions for a long time. But he was a D coordinator here for the Titans in this franchise mode. You even see his record with the team. See how many years he has left on his contract, his salary, his age. He has ratings. Freaking ratings for coordinators. He has a 79 defensive line rating. As you see the rest, he has a motivation rating, a work ethic, chemistry, knowledge. Obviously, with him being a defensive coordinator, his offensive rating sucks. But that's just a fact. Like, it's so in depth that you actually could hire and fire and have coordinators. And even shows you how he did with that team. And you see right here how he improved throughout his franchise. Like, even today, how pathetic is it that like you can't even see, like there's no way to go into a coach on Madden 20 franchise and see his record like throughout his career. Like, you can't see how he was 10 years ago, who he coached for 10 years ago. And right here off the bat, the freaking defensive coordinator, you can see right here his last 3 years with the Titans, how he did. And even from this screen, you could promote and release the coach. So I'm guessing here he's the owner. So like, how cool would it be to be able to like promote within your organization in your franchise mode. If you're the owner, being able to promote an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator to head coach. Now, another really cool thing, and it kind of shows it here, your former players could actually become coaches. Like, imagine in your franchise mode today, Tom Brady would retire, but 5 years later down the line, he would become the offensive coordinator or the head coach at an organization. Once again, talking about the statistics screen, like looking at career stats, you can't do that. Like, it doesn't let you see career stats every single year, what team they played for 5 years ago. And right here off the bat, shows you Doug Peterson, who's now the head coach of the Eagles, used to play for the Packers. See his freaking statistics for the last 4 years, because, I mean, doesn't it make sense in an in-depth franchise mode to be able to see the career statistics and the statistics in general of your players? Dumb. And once again, here's another screen. Brett Favre, you can see all the way back to when he played for the Falcons, which he never really did. But it was used to be in depth. Like, it's not like people ask what we want. Like, there's a lot of people that don't really play franchise mode. They're like, oh, this movement's stupid. What do you even want in franchise mode to make you happy? Like, for starters, can we just see the career statistics of our players? Like, we're actually going to be engulfed into a franchise series. Like, we want to see, like, the development of the player throughout his career. Like, we want to see a Brett Favre, how he started off, statistically with the Packers to his final years. And back in the day, you used to be able to export your team and, like, do them in a franchise mode and play now. You could export them to other Maddens. Now, this is where things start to piss me off. Custom uniforms. Like, obviously, you haven't been able to create uniforms in Madden for like 10, 15 years. Look at this. You actually used to be able to go back and customize the uniforms of existing NFL teams. So obviously this isn't a pretty uniform, but it just gets the point across that, like, if you don't like the Raiders uniforms, you can customize them a little bit and tweak them to your liking. And once again, we want an in-depth franchise mode, man. Like, we want the game, the franchise mode, to replicate how the NFL works as much as possible, because we can't experience that in real life, because why? We suck. Like, obviously we're not in the NFL, we're not pro athletes, so we want to be able to at least mimic that and just get a little bit of the experience in our own franchise mode and just have fun. And we don't even have things like restricted free agents like back in the day they used to where, like, you could, had a restricted free agent. If somebody else signed them because they didn't accept your offer, their qualifying offer, you might get a second, third round draft pick. But no, not even today. Like, throughout this season, if you want to sign somebody out of free agency in week 2, you can only sign them to a 1-year deal that's a set amount already set by Madden. Like, the fact that you can't sign a free agent and, like, negotiate a contract and make it more than a 1-year deal is so stupid and just lazy by the development staff, man. And right here, salaries, position grades, division standings, and problem salaries, all on one screen. Like, just cool things that we can't even imagine seeing today, like in this franchise screen. Like, being able to see the highest paid players in the league, being able to see the average overall at a certain position throughout the league and see how your team compares, the team salary, how much cap room, the average starter salary, and once again, coaching ratings and salaries all on one screen. Like the fact that right here, Mike Mularkey, who ended up being a head coach for the Titans, right here, he was the offensive coordinator for the Steelers, but you got to see his rating, his motivation rating, offense rating, defensive rating, his chemistry rating. You can see the salaries of your coordinators. You can see the training staff salaries. Like, how cool is this? If you want to look at the Browns and see how the city of Cleveland looks, see their fan support, you even see the freaking average income of the people that live in Cleveland. Like, how did we go from 17 years ago that in the franchise mode was so in depth, you can see the goddamn average income of the citizens of your city in a Madden 20. Can't even freaking assign a player to more than a 1-year deal. Like, it's just, even get to see the average temperature, the population of the city, and I'm pretty sure the population of the city, like, kind of changed throughout the franchise because it changes in real life. That's how in-depth it used to be. Why is it, like, what happened? Where did we go wrong? Here, once again, an end-of-the-year income statement showing the strengths and weaknesses of your teams as a business. That's what it is, as a business, and we want to be able to take control of that. Like, what we need to do is they say, hey, what do you guys want in franchise mode? Go back to Madden 2004, you moron. Like, you are able to control this. Like, this isn't all just random numbers. It happened from something. Like, you're able to control your ticket prices, concession prices, parking, merchandise, your media contracts you would get throughout the seasons. And depending on how good you were doing and what city you were in and how the city was growing, how you were, like I said, doing as a team, population of the city, that determines all the factor of how you did throughout the season financially. Like, this is how in-depth it used to be 15 years ago, 17 years ago. You even had freaking fan appreciation days. You had year-to-year data revenue and expense screens, so you could compare your data expenses from one year to the next or to the last year. And like I said, you could literally customize everything, dude. Like your ticket prices. If you wanted tickets to be cheap, have more people go to the games for cheaper, like you could do that. Even your freaking concessions, dude. You were able to control how much you freaking sold a goddamn crab cake sandwich for. And this is the cool one too, advertising prices. Because you obviously want to be advertised and get more fans in the stands, get more fans liking your team in general. And it would kind of be like a balancing act. Like the more money you spend on advertising, the more reach you have, but are you spending too much? And you already see like this person's spending too much and their current assets is negative $30 million. But it's always just like a balancing game. And you could even go so far in depth to increase attendance for one game per year by giving away team memorabilia. Like, you could go back and pick what you wanted to give away to your fans as a gift on Fan Appreciation Day. And now this is where you piss me off. You can't even rename your stadium now, and you used to be able to. You could rename your stadium because sponsorships would come in. Somebody would want to, take the naming rights of your stadium, and you'd get money from it, but you'd have to rename the stadium, but screw it, you get money. I mean, if you want to keep the initial stadium name, more power to you. But if you want to sell the stadium name rights to somebody else to get some extra money, like right here, Amplified Industries wants to pay $3 million a year for the name rights. Do it if you want to. And also kind of gave you incentive to winning games depending on each deal. Each deal was kind of specific to what it was. Like here, the Castrol sponsorship said you got paid $2 million by your sponsor every time you win at least 8 games in the season or earn a playoff appearance. Once again, more incentive to do good in the season because you get more money to spend on players. And you could even not just rename your stadium, you can completely upgrade your stadium, dude. If you wanted to add retractable glass windows to your stadium, you could add retractable glass windows to your stadium. And it even shows you the prices. Once again, it's all a balancing act. You're having to kind of deal with the financial aspect of everything. You even see the fan support for Tennessee Titans. Fan support isn't good, but the more throughout the franchise, the better you do. The better you do in terms of making everything affordable for your fans, doing more things for your fans, that fan support could go up because that's part of actually dealing with a real-life franchise. That's what NFL organizations have to do all the time. They have to do more things. The better they do, the more fan support you're going to get. You can upgrade your stadium. You can add windows, a medical facility, all kinds of stuff. You can even design the stadium and change things about it. And there it is again, dude. Like in a franchise, like you had to go through and try to get a stadium approved. Like it even shows you the likelihood of approval depending on how much you wanted to put in to making this stadium. Like it's even you would like say you made this in 2004 in your franchise series and you wanted to make a stadium, you actually even had to wait until the next year, the next season before the stadium was completed because it's realistic. You even see how much the city's going to fund it, hence why you had to have the likelihood of approval because you had to contribute a certain amount of money from your team. You could have new stadiums, custom stadiums. You didn't have to just relocate and have to pick like from 10 different cities and already made names. And you could even customize your preseason schedules. I still don't get why in franchise mode today you can't customize a schedule. Like if I'm playing this online CFM with like 5 or 6 of my real life buddies, I want to play them every single season. Like obviously you know what the schedule is going to be like the first year because it replicates what it is in real life, but after year number 1 it's just completely random. Like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play my buddies. I want to be able to customize the schedule where I play my friends every single season, or if just in general I just wanted to customize the schedule however I wanted it to. If I wanted to play the Patriots every year, let me goddamn do that. And once again, you had media contracts you would get every single season or every other year depending on how well you did. Here the Bears only got a local media contract, but that's extra money added to your organizational budget. And here it is. You used to have Coach Bill Belichick's likeness in the game. Crazy enough, that's funny. I didn't even know that. I thought Bill Belichick always wasn't in the game. Like in Madden 2004, they could afford to have Bill Belichick's license in the game, but for some reason nowadays, they make billions of dollars a year and they can't even afford to have Bill Belichick. So, I really don't know how to end this video other than the fact that, god dang, that was depressing.